Any problem in the homework questions?
नहीं मैम हो गए थे.
Okay. फजील आपसे भी हो गए होंगे.
जी मिस.
Okay. Did you guys change this to, yeah, did you guys write it as 5x cube plus 0x square plus 4x minus 5? Because if you don't do that, you might get a wrong answer. गलती होने के chances ज़्यादा हैं if you don't use 0x square. Some students are able to do it without even using this method. लेकिन from my experience, I've noted कि ज़्यादा गलती हो जाती है, chances ज़्यादा होते हैं if you don't use 0x square while dividing. Acha ji, so if there's no problem in the homework, let's proceed. I would like to discuss synthetic division today. Okay, so another method of dividing two polynomials is synthetic division. अच्छा, अब इसमें क्या होता है कि let me just write down the question. You have to divide x cube minus 3x square plus 5x minus 4 with x minus 5. Now what you do is you write the coefficient of x cube, you write the coefficient of x square, you write the coefficient of x underneath these. So the coefficient of x cube is 1, the coefficient of x square is minus 3, the coefficient of x is 5. A line here, and then you write the constant here. Next step is that you equate this to 0, the divisor to 0. X minus 5 is equals to 0, which gives us x equals 5. So then you write this 5 over here. And underneath 1, you always write 0. Ye hamesha 0. Okay. Now we're ready to start doing synthetic division. Again, quick recap. हमने क्या किया? X cube, x square, x के coefficients उनके नीचे लिख दिए. जो constant है वो side पे लिख दिया. और फिर you equate this to 0 and we got a 5. 5 इधर लिख दिया. और first coefficient के नीचे हमेशा 0 लिखते हैं. Okay. Now what you do is that you add these two. You add these two. And we get a 1. Then what you do is you multiply these two, which gives us a 5. So then you write 5 over here. Next, you add these two again. We get a 2. And then you multiply these two again, which gives us a 10. Addition, 15. And then we multiply 5 and 15. 75. And then we add these two, which gives us 71. And this 71 is the remainder. And these will give you the quotient. This would be the coefficient of x square, 1 degree less कर देते हैं. Cubic equation थी. So you start with x square plus 2x plus 15. That is plus 2x. So x square plus 2x plus 15 will be the quotient. That's how you divide two polynomials using synthetic division. X square plus 2x plus 15. That is correct. Okay. अब synthetic division की कुछ limitations होती हैं. What are those limitations? एक तो this must always be linear. This has to be linear. hold on, limitations of synthetic division. The divisor must be linear.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैम।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
मैम आप इसकी रिकॉर्डिंग सेंड कर देगी ग्रुप में आज की क्लास की?
ठीक
मैं
है,
शुरू से देखा नहीं था।
ठीक है। सिंथेटिक डिवीजन का हम एक और क्वेश्चन भी करेंगे। और सेकंड इसकी लिमिटेशन ये होती है कि द कोफिशिएंट of x must be 1 in the divisor. Okay, so since both these conditions satisfy in this particular question, x minus 5, which is the divisor, is linear and the coefficient of that x is 1. So only because of that we got to do synthetic division. Otherwise नहीं हो सकती synthetic division. तो ये बड़े लिमिटेड केसेस में हो सकती है. सेकेंडली A2 में ज्यादातर जो डिवाइसेस होते हैं वो क्वाड्रेटिक होते हैं. So this method does not work. So that's why it's seldom used, but it does exist and it can be used if these two conditions are satisfied. Okay, let's move on. So let's talk about remainder theorem again and factor theorem along with that. The remainder theorem. The question is, find the remainder. Same question as before. When x minus 5 divides x cube minus 3x square plus 5x minus 4. You haven't been asked to find the quotient, so there's no point of doing long division. Plus iske 1 or 2 marks se zyada nahi hote. So no need of doing long division. Instead, you're going to use remainder theorem. What does remainder theorem say? Let's call this polynomial Px. Now, if you substitute this to 0, x minus 5 is equals to 0, you get x is equals to 5. Now, P5 will give you the remainder directly. So P5 will be 5 cube minus 3 times 5 square plus 5 times 5 minus 4. You might have done the same question yesterday, I'm not sure. 5 kiya tha. 5 cube minus 3 times 5 square plus 5 into 5 minus 4 gives 71. So we got the same remainder as we did in synthetic division, but by a very less time consuming method. Okay, so that is
क्वेश्चन है, अगर क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन है इसको इक्वल टू 0 करें फिर कौन सा वैल्यू ऑफ x यूज करेंगे हम फॉर px?
कोई भी एक यूज कर लोगे अगर सोल्यूशन एग्जिस्ट करता है.
ठीक है मैम.
ठीक है, लेकिन क्वाड्रेटिक के लिए मेरा नहीं ख्याल ये काम करेगा. नहीं, क्वाड्रेटिक के लिए नहीं काम करेगा, लीनियर के लिए करेगा. I'll talk more about that in a bit. So that is remainder theorem. Factor theorem की अब बात करते हैं. Okay. Factor theorem में if 12 is this is not directly related to factor theorem, but वैसे side discussion कर रहे हैं. if we divide x with, let's say 2, 12 with 2, and if we divide x with 5, so 2 is a factor of 12. So you won't get a remainder. Remainder will be 0. And since 5 is not a factor of 12, this time you'll get a remainder. So that means if you're dividing a value with its factor, then the remainder is 0. So since 12, or since 2 is a factor of 12, the remainder is 0. So you use exactly the same logic here now. And the difference is that now P5, if x minus 5 was a factor of x cube minus 3x square plus 5x minus 4, then P5 would be equals to what?
Zero.
A number multiplied by x minus 5.
नहीं, 0 होता. देखो अभी क्या किया था, क्योंकि ये फैक्टर नहीं था x माइनस 5 इसका, तो जब 5 px में सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दिया तो हमारे पास आंसर जो था वो रिमाइंडर आया 71. लेकिन जस्ट इन केस अगर ये फैक्टर होता तो फिर हमारा रिमाइंडर आता 0. सो फैक्टर थ्योरम ये कहता है कि अगर, लेट मी जस्ट राइट अ क्वेश्चन टू सो दैट इट मेक्स मोर सेंस. हियर्स द क्वेश्चन. ओके, क्वेश्चन ये है, show that x minus 2 is a factor of 3x cube minus 5x square plus 3x minus 10. तो हम फैक्टर थ्योरम वाला, रिमाइंडर थ्योरम वाला ही काम करेंगे. व्हाट डू वी डू? वी फर्स्ट इक्वेट दिस टू 0. x minus 2 is equals to 0, which gives us x is equals to 2. We can say that this is equals to px. P means polynomial. And we can substitute, or we can find p2. अब p2 का आंसर क्या होना चाहिए अगर x minus 2 is the factor of 3x cube minus 5x square plus 3x minus 10. There should be no
Zero.
remainder. रिमाइंडर ही नहीं होना क्योंकि फैक्टर है, तो दिस शुड बी इक्वल्स टू 0. So this is what you have to show. Show this. So let's see if that is true or not. 3 times 2 cube minus 5 times 2 square plus 3 times 2 minus 10. Zero आता है. Hence x minus 2 is a factor, or hence it is a factor. ठीक है. So factor theorem and remainder theorem are more or less the same thing. Remainder में अगर remainder आना है तो x की जब वही value substitute करेंगे तो you'll get a remainder. And if it's a factor of the other expression, then if you substitute that particular value of x, you'll get a 0 because there's no remainder when you're dividing a value with its factor. So that is factor theorem and remainder theorem. And it's very helpful to use these theorems when you're not being asked to find the quotient. अगर क्वेश्चन फाइंड करना है तो फिर तो या लॉन्ग डिवीजन होगी, या हमने जो कल तो मेथड्स और पढ़े थे वो होगा, या सिंथेटिक डिवीजन if it's possible. Otherwise, stick to remainder theorem if you're only being asked to find the remainder. अच्छा जी, अब क्या रह गया? Last thing from this topic before we start the worksheet question. That is, let me see if I've missed anything. I don't think so. So एक question कर लेते हैं before we start the last topic. Example question. So that is when 2x cube plus x square minus 3x plus q is divided by x minus 2. The remainder is 12. Find q. So how can we do this question? Q की value find करनी है, and you're told that when these two expressions are divided, the remainder is 12. Let's start with long division first. सारे method से करके देखते हैं, या at least relevant method से. तो अगर हम long division से कर रहे हैं, so then we write 2x cube plus x square minus 3x plus q, and this is divided by x minus 2. The first value I'll write as quotient would be 2x square, because when we multiply x with 2x square, we get 2x cube. And with that, we get minus 4x square. Then we have to change the signs, minus and plus. And we get 5x square, minus 3x is brought down, and so is q. Okay. Now, after multiplication, we're supposed to get 5x square. That means the next expression we'll write in the quotient would be plus 5x. So 5x square minus 10x. Change the signs, minus plus, which gives us 7x, and plus q is brought. Next, I need 7x. So we write plus 7 over here. 7 times x is 7x minus 14. Change the signs. Minus and plus. So the final constant here would be q plus 14. That is the remainder. However, we know the actual value of the remainder, which is 12. So this must be equals to 12. So q comes out to be minus 2. That's how
इसके
you...
रिमाइंडर पीरियड तो हो सकता है क्वेश्चन.
बिल्कुल हो सकता है, 100% हो सकता है. वो भी अभी करते हैं. बहुत बेहतर होगा अगर हम रिमाइंडर थ्योरम ही यूज करें. तो जब मैं पूछ रही थी क्या करेंगे, यू डिड नॉट आंसर. तो फिर अब हम सब कर रहे. ओके ओके. नेक्स्ट मेथड वो कुड बी सिंथेटिक डिविजन. वो भी करके देख लेते हैं. सो गोइंग टू राइट ST. Okay. So synthetic division में again, is it possible to do synthetic division? There are two conditions for that. First of all, the divisor has to be linear, which it is. Secondly, the coefficient of the x in the divisor should be 1, which it is. So फिर we can do synthetic division. Synthetic division में हम क्या करते हैं? x cube, x square, x के coefficients उनके नीचे लिख लेते हैं. So we have 2, 1, and minus 3, and we write the constant over here, which is q. Then underneath here you equate x minus 2 to 0. So you get x is equals to 2. This is equated to 0. कहाँ किया जाए, यहाँ कर लेते हैं. X minus 2 is equals to 0, which gives us x is equals to 2, which you write here, and this is always 0. So you start the synthetic division by adding this, which gives us a 2, and then you multiply these, which gives us a 4. Then you add these, which gives us a 5, and then you multiply these, which gives us a 10. Then you add these, 7, and then you multiply 2 and 7, which gives us a 14. So the remainder is q plus 40. which we know is equals to 12. So again, Q is minus. Same answer, different method. And lastly, the most recommended method here would be the remainder theorem. अदन आप बता सकते हो रिमाइंडर थ्योरम से ये कैसे करेंगे?
मैम इसको +2 हो जाएगा, उसको इक्वेट करके 0 से और फिर उसके अंदर सब्स्टिट्यूट कर लेंगे जो
एक सेकंड मुझे
पॉलिनोमियल।
समझ आया है. होल्ड ऑन, change the method. So remainder theorem. Okay. So first thing you said was के +2 वो यहाँ से आ गया x is equals to 2. ठीक है, अब क्या करेंगे?
अब इसको पॉलिनोमियल में सब्स्टिट्यूट करना है।
हाँ ठीक है. Let's equate this to px. So you're finding p2, and what should be the answer for p2? The numerical answer for p2. 12, yes, which is the remainder. Now let's substitute that. 2 into 2q plus 2 square minus 3 into 2 plus q should be equals to 12. 16 plus 4 minus 6 plus q equals 12. So we have 14 plus q equals 12. Q equals minus 2. So the least time consuming method is the remainder theorem. अच्छा जी, last बात पे आते हैं, which is I hope everybody got to copy this. Okay. The last subtopic of this chapter is solving polynomial equation. Okay. So the first question would be solve x cube plus 2x square minus 5x minus 6 is equals to 0. If this were a linear polynomial हम आराम से solve कर लेते, quadratic होता तब भी हम आराम से solve कर लेते. ये है cubic. You can't solve a cubic by polynomial through a formula. Quadratic तो quadratic formula से भी solve हो जाता था, middle term breaking से भी solve हो जाता था. This can't be done using a formula. वैसे formula exist करता है cubic तक, but वो हमारे syllabus में नहीं है, so no need to get into that. इसको हमने polynomials के topic से solve करना है जी.
तो इसको एक्स स्क्वायर को कॉमन नहीं लेकर कर सकते हैं, जैसे कि एक्स क्यूब और 5x को रीअरेंज करके, जैसे कुछ क्वेश्चंस होते थे ये ओ लेवल और P1 में.
उसमें फिर इधर भी x की टर्म होनी चाहिए थी ना, ताकि आप सबसे x कॉमन ले लेते.
नहीं मैम, 5x को एक्स क्यूब के साथ डाल ले और 2x स्क्वायर को 6 के साथ डाल लें, क्योंकि एक्स स्क्वायर तो कॉमन हो जाएगा दोनों में.
समझ नहीं आई. आप कह रहे हो इधर एक्स स्क्वायर को कॉमन कर लेते हैं, तो फिर हमारे पास आ गया x प्लस 2 और यहाँ हमारे पास आ गया -5x माइनस 6 इज इक्वल्स टू 0. इससे आगे नहीं सॉल्व हो सकता.
ठीक है मैम.
ठीक है. सो चलिए अब, since it's a cubic equation, it's going to have three solutions. So अब first solution हमेशा आप hit and trial से find करते हो. So use hit and trial for first root or first solution. Hit and trial का मतलब है कि let's equate this to fx. So let's see if f0 is true. Does f0 give us an answer of 0? क्योंकि equals to 0 है. तो अगर हम f0 करें तो हमारे पास 0 + 0 + 0 -6 आ जाता है. So no, we get -6, which is not equals to 0. So 0 is not a root of this equation, or 0 is not a solution of this equation.
And
इस
two पर आ रहा है.
पे आएगा जी।
2 पे आता है.
Yes.
ठीक है, 2 पे आता है. 1 ट्राई किया है, -1 ट्राई किया है. 1 पे आता है, -1 पे आता है, क्योंकि you must check for f1 and then you must check for f -1, then you must check for f2 and then f -2. तो 1 पे नहीं आता you're saying, और 2 पे भी नहीं आता. Sorry, -1
-1 में आता है.
-1 पे आ जाता है, तो ठीक है. So you may use either f -1 और f2 पहले देख लिया है, तो 2 आपका solution, whatever you found first. लेकिन make this a habit के smallest integer से start करो. 0, 1, -1, then 2 and -2. So 1 के लिए नहीं आएगा. अगर हम 1 करें तो we have 1 + 2 -5, 1 + 2 -5 -6, which gives -5, which is not equals to 0. -1 के लिए let's say -1 whole cube plus 2 times -1 square minus 5 -1 -6, is that equals to 0? -1 plus 2 plus 5 minus 6, it is equals to 0. So I found the answer, first answer. So x is equals to -1 is a root. Next statement is very important. Hence, x plus 1 is a factor. इसको दूसरी साइड पे ले जाते हैं and equals to 0 कर देते हैं. x plus 1 is equals to 0, and this is the factor. So x plus 1 is a factor of the given polynomial. Now you can find the other factor by long division. First factor आप hit and trial से find कर सकते हो, it's allowed. Second factor hit and trial से नहीं find करना होता, वो long division से करना होता. So let's start with the long division. X cube plus 2x square minus 5x minus 6 divided by x plus 1. So the first expression should be x square, because x times x square gives us x cube plus x square, change signs, minus plus cancels, 3x square minus 5x minus 6. The next term in the coefficient should be plus 3x. So that becomes 3x square plus 3x, change signs, minus minus. So we have minus 8x over here and minus 6 over here. And then we will, कुछ गलत हुआ है क्योंकि 0 आंसर नहीं आ रहा. Let me see.
मैं फाइनल आंसर 2 और -3 है.
X square plus 3x नहीं होना चाहिए था, plus x होना चाहिए था, और minus 6 क्या गलत
मैं
किया.
कह रहा हूँ 2 और -3.
एक सेकेंड, एक आंसर 2 और एक
एक्स
आंसर
स्क्वायर माइनस
-3.
होगा आपने तो किया.
दोबारा बोलो फजी.
इस एक्स स्क्वायर आपने प्लस कर दिया 2x स्क्वायर के अंदर माइनस होगा.
ओ यस, ये माइनस था, ये माइनस था, इसका साइन नहीं चेंज किया. यस, सो दैट बिकम्स जस्ट एक्स स्क्वायर. यहाँ से फिक्स करते हैं. ओके, सो दिस वुड बी just plus x. So that is x square plus x change signs minus and minus. So we get minus 6x and minus x upside. Or pair, this would be minus 6. So minus 6x minus 6. Change the signs plus, and we must get a remainder 0 because we knew that x plus 1 is a factor of x cube term. तो अगर फैक्टर है तो डेफिनेटली रिमाइंडर 0 आ रहा है. अगर रिमाइंडर 0 नहीं आ रहा, जैसे मेरा पहले नहीं आ रहा था, दैट मीन्स 100% आपकी डिवीजन में कोई मसला है. सो यू शुड रीचेक योर वर्किंग. Okay, so now we know that x cube plus 2x square minus 5x minus 6 can be written as product of these two. So this can be written as x plus 1 and x square plus x minus 6. Okay, so we have x plus 1, and can we further factorize this? Do middle term breaking. So let's see if it's possible. X square plus 3x minus 2x minus 6. So x is common, x plus 3. Minus 2 is common, x plus 3. So the final completely factorized expression is this, which you equate to 0, and you get your 3 roots. One is x equals minus 1. The other one is x equals minus 3. And the third one is x equals to 2. Minus 1, minus 3, 2. That is correct. Okay. Any questions here? Other than Fazil, Maureen, and Heather?
Clear, ma'am.
Maureen, कोई question here?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Let's do one more question like this. Solve 6x cubed plus 7x squared minus x minus 2 is equals to 0. Now, please tell me what's going to be the first solution using hit and fire. Khud karo. First. So you may equate this to fx.
मैम ये -1 पे आता है 0.
-1 पे आता है. So f0 पे नहीं आया. Show your attempts. -2 is not equals to 0.
1 पे नहीं आया था, -1 पे.
-1 पे भी नहीं आया था. ठीक है.
नहीं, मैं कह रहा हूँ -1 पे आया है, 1 पे नहीं आया.
अच्छा, ठीक है. तो f1 चेक कर लेते हैं. f1 would be 6 plus 7 minus 1 minus 2, which is 10, which is not equals to 0. And then f minus 1 पे you're saying आ गया सबका 0 is equals to 0. Okay, hence
Yes, ma'am.
x is equals to -1 is a root that is x plus 1 is a factor. Now you can do long division or synthetic division, कोई भी एक use कर लो, and find the quotient at the top. फिर उसको हम further break करके solutions find करेंगे of this cubic equation. Okay, so let's divide. So 6x cubed plus 7x squared minus x minus 2 is being divided by x plus 1. So 6x squared, which gives us 6x cubed plus 6x squared. Change the signs. Minus, minus. This gets eliminated. And we have x squared minus x minus 2. Second expression at the top is going to be plus x. X times x is x squared plus 1 times x is x. Change the signs. Minus, minus, minus 2x minus 2, meaning the next expression at the quotient is going to be minus 2. So minus 2x minus 2. When we change the sign, we get a plus here, we get a plus here. Both of these eliminate and get us a 0 as remainder. That means we haven't made any mistake in our working, because since x plus 1 was a factor of the expression it was dividing with, so the remainder must have been 0, and it is 0. Okay. So now we can write 6x cubed plus 7x squared minus x minus 2 as the product of these two again, which gives x plus 1 and 6x squared plus x minus 2. So again, middle term breaking for the second expression, x plus 1, 6x squared minus 4x, no, plus 4x minus 3x minus 2. So 2x is common, 3x plus 2, minus 1 is common, 3x plus 2. So in the end, we get x plus 1 as the first factor, 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1 as the second factor, and 3x plus 2 as the third factor equals to 0. So the three solutions are x equals minus 1, x equals half, and x equals minus 2 over 3. Minus 1, half, and minus 2 over 3. Yes, all answers are correct. Okay. Let me know when you're done, because I have to end this lesson and send you a new link. This link is expiring in a minute. Okay. So this would be minus x cubed plus 2x squared and then plus x plus a. Okay. Next expression at the top would be minus x, because x squared times minus x gives minus x cubed, and then minus x squared, and then minus 2x. Change the signs. Plus, 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 cancels 3x squared plus 3x plus a. Next, we'll be writing plus 3 at the top. So 3x squared plus 3x plus 6. Change the signs. Negative, negative, negative. So we get a constant term here, which is a minus 6, which is your remainder.
0 होना चाहिए.
Sorry, not your remainder. Yes, your remainder, which should be 0. Yes, since the two expressions are, the outer expression is a factor of the inner expression. So that's why remainder must be 0. So we have our answer that a is equals to 6. And we also have the second part, the answer for the second part of the question, and find the other quadratic factor of px. What's the other quadratic factor of px?
Ma'am, your coefficient.
Exactly, this is the other quadratic factor. So other quadratic factor is this x squared minus x plus 3. because both of these multiplied would give you the given equation px, given expression px. Okay, so we've done question number 1. We could not use factor theorem here, yeah, remainder theorem here, so we did not. And we had to resort to long division. Synthetic division भी नहीं हो सकती थी इधर क्योंकि the outer value, which is the divisor, was not linear. Next question. If you need me to slow down, yeah, if you haven't copied anything and I've moved on, please let me know that instant. All I have to do is scroll back up. But you have to let me know. अभी मैं assume कर रही हूँ कि आप लोग सब full speed में लिख रहे हो. I know I tend to go fast sometimes, but you need to remind me to slow down. Okay. So the polynomial x power 4 minus 2x cubed minus 2x squared plus a is denoted by fx. It is given that fx is divisible by x square minus 4x plus 4. Again, this is telling you that the remainder would be 0. Since it's divisible by, it will completely divide it. Find the value of a. Acha. Now, the first thing you'll check is, can we break down x square minus 4x plus 4 into linear factors? X square minus 4x plus 4. In the last question, that was not possible. So we could not
X minus
use,
2 square.
sorry, x minus 2 whole square, yes. When you factorize this using middle term breaking or directly using algebraic identity a square minus 2ab plus b square, you'll get x minus 2 whole square. Okay, so you have two factors, x minus 2 and x minus 2. So you can use any one of the brackets since they're both the same. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. अब हम factor theorem use कर लेते हैं. Factor theorem. So since that's fx, so you're going to write f2 should be equals to what?
Zero.
Yes, because it's a factor, there won't be any remainder. ये आपको method remainder देता है. क्योंकि ये factor है, expression का तो remainder आना चाहिए 0. So now you can conveniently find the value of a. f2 will be 2 power 4 minus 2 power 2 cube minus 2 power 2 square plus a equals to 0. Give me the value of a, please.
Eight RE, man.
Okay, that is correct. A is equals to 8. When a has this value, show that fx is never negative. When a has this value, so the expression becomes x4 minus 2x cubed minus 2x square plus 8. You have to show that this expression is never negative. क्या मतलब is never negative? That means if you draw it, if you plot it, it should never go below the x-axis. ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए. It should always stay above x-axis. So now you have to show that it is going to stay above x-axis at all points. तो आप क्या करोगे? AS का knowledge use करोगे, ये turning points find कर लोगे. और आप दिखाओगे कि सारे turning points में y तो positive है. So अगर y positive है, that means ये graph हमेशा x-axis के ऊपर रह रहा है. Now the second question is, or the question is that how do we find turning points of an expression or of a graph? This is from AS. टर्निंग पॉइंट कैसे निकालते थे? सबको
कंप्लीटिंग स्क्वायर।
वो तो क्वाड्रेटिक एक्सप्रेशन का टर्निंग पॉइंट इस तरह से निकलता था। टर्निंग पॉइंट होता है स्टेशनरी पॉइंट।
तो dy over dx equals 0.
Exactly. Derivate करके equals to 0. So you have to show that this all stationary points have a positive value of y. So let's find the stationary point or turning point, also known as turning point. Okay. So stationary point would be derivated dy over dx and then equated to 0. Let's say this is equals to y. So how do we derivate this? X power 4 क्या हो जाएगा?
4x cube
Yes, 4x cube minus 6x square minus 4x plus 0 is equals to 0. Now you can factorize 2x. So we have 2x square minus 3x minus 2 equals to 0. We'll have to further factorize this. So 2x square, यहाँ आ गया minus 4x plus x minus 2 equals to 0. So that would be 2x common, x minus 2 plus 1 common, x minus 2 equals to 0. So you have 2x, then 2x plus 1 and x minus 2 as the factors equals to 0. So the x coordinates of the stationary points are x is equals to 0, x is equals to minus half, and x is equals to 2. अब इनके respective y's check करने हैं so that you can ensure that all the 3 y's of the 3 turning points are above the x-axis. Hence, that means that the graph never crosses the x-axis, so it can never be negative. Okay, so y is equals to, यहाँ से continue करें. I think नीचे ही जाना पड़ेगा. इधर आ जाते हैं. Okay, so y is equals to x4 minus 2x cubed minus 2x square plus 8. So when x is 0, y is 8. When x is minus half, please tell me the value of y. And similarly, when x is 2, give me the value of y.
मैं -half से तो 7.8 आ रही है.
ठीक है, 7.8 positive value. Preferably 3 significant figure तक आपको लिखना चाहिए, क्योंकि इनको बहाना चाहिए होता है मार्क्स काटने तक.
और 2 से 0 आ रही है.
2 से 0 आ रही है. So all 3 values of y of the stationary point are positive. All y's of the stationary point or turning point are positive. That is, the graph doesn't cross x-axis, hence it's always positive. और वो x एक्सेस के ऊपर है, तीनों टर्निंग पॉइंट्स, सो द ग्राफ इज ऑलवेज पॉजिटिव। आई थिंक इसका ग्राफ कुछ ऐसे बनता है अगर आप इस कर्व को स्केच भी करो यूं करके। so, सारे टर्निंग पॉइंट्स x एक्सेस के ऊपर है, एक तो एग्जैक्टली x एक्सेस के ऊपर है और बाकी दो आर हायर देन द x एक्सेस, so this curve is never negative. Okay, I think let's end the lesson here. You're supposed to do question 3 and question 4 as homework. नहीं होंगे तो definitely मैं कराऊंगी, but you have to try them at home. Okay, question 3 and question 4. I'll see you tomorrow. Allah Hafiz.
enough